Hi, I'm Jim,
Hi, I'm Karen.
and we do slow travel across the globe.
Yes, we do.
We certainly do. This video is about nomadic travel and trying to figure out if you're the type that can do this kind of thing.
Or if you're even interested in it. So first we're going to define it by somebody else's definition who can say it a lot better than us. It is the lifestyle of slow, continuous movement from place to place, living from weeks or months in each location rather than a vacation hopping style. This video is going to emphasize a little bit more on like slow travel because we're slow travelers and nomadic. There's so many definitions of everything, so we're just trying to define about a little bit more what we're talking about, and we feel slow travel gives us what?
We do a month at a time. Slow travel gives us more of the culture and daily life. We go shopping sometimes.
Do laundry.
We have a video on that.
And we get into the rhythms and customs of the area too, because that's really important.
Yep. So to us, that's slow travel. Some people don't like to stay in a place a month at a time.
No, sometimes
and that's okay too. We've come up with 7 key considerations to decide whether or not this is a lifestyle that you would be happy with.
I think the first key, the most important key, is to try to figure out what is it that you want from this lifestyle. What is it that you're expecting? What are your expectations? What's important to you? So you really have to sit down and be honest with yourself, which isn't always the easiest thing to do.
And understand that escaping something else isn't a good reason to go somewhere else.
No. I've always said that you take you no matter where you go. If you're just trying to escape a lifestyle of whatever it is, the law,
Yep.
they'll catch up with you.
Yeah. It almost caught up with me, but I got out of there in time. One of the things you have to get used to with nomadic travel, you're going to live with a lot less than you would normally live with. We carry a backpack and a suitcase each, and it's a carry-on suitcase. So we're limited in the amount of clothes, and we can't buy souvenirs because we don't want to carry it around.
That's not the only baggage, though. If you're looking at nomadic lifestyle, can you be away from friends, family? And being familiar with a location is very important to a lot of people. And it's a comfort zone. So can you be out of that? Can you do without? What can you do without?
Yeah.
I think we all know what we need, but what can you do without?
Yeah. Sometimes you can get a feeling of isolation in a country. You don't have your friends. We rely on video calls to talk to some friends. Some people can't do video calls like that. They'd rather be face-to-face in person. We don't have a problem with that.
No.
We also don't have children.
No.
And that, to some people, grandchildren would be very important, or even children would be very important to be around.
Or parents.
Or parents.
Or
Again, we don't have
family.
parents.
What's ever important to you. You need to figure out, is that something that you can be away from for long periods of time?
Can you do without?
The third key that we think is pretty important to our lifestyle is the ability to research and plan. Is that something you enjoy?
Yep. You have to be able to research if you need a visa to get into a country. You need to know about the Schengen zone, which we'll probably talk about. And if you don't know what it is, we'll talk about it in later videos. You need to understand transit system. You need to understand safety.
The apps, the maps, the budgeting tools. There's a lot of them out there. Which one fits your lifestyle the best or you're more comfortable with? And to just stay organized, because this lifestyle can really start to fold in on itself.
fourth question you have to ask yourself is, how do you handle frustration? I think one of the masters of handling frustration is Karen. So I'm going to let Karen talk about getting frustrated.
I think in everywhere you go, nothing is perfect. It wasn't perfect in our home in Tampa, Florida. It isn't perfect out on the road. So, but you have now not the ability to be able to necessarily handle it, as you might do in your own language or something like that. So you've got heat, noise, language barriers, delays. Have your flight been delayed? Did your train come in late? And are you able to adapt to things that go wrong?
I'm going to give an example of frustration. We had set a trip up for Azerbaijan almost a year in advance. Yeah. Because of the war in Iran, we had to pivot and change our plans.
We chose to pivot.
We chose to. But we had to get new airline tickets. We had to choose a new destination. Everything we had planned. Everything.
And we had fees on top of that. We had done a visa to get into Azerbaijan, which cost us $30 a piece, $60. We have flights that we had to cancel. There were cancellation fees. One we just had to eat completely because it was a less expensive flight. So there's challenges to this.
You have to be adaptable. Another consideration is budget. And I think the master of budgeting is sitting right next to me, so I'm going to let her explain that.
I think it's twofold. What can you spend and what do you want to spend? I had a tendency at the beginning of this traveling that I did not want to spend the money. I'm very afraid of it. I'm frugal. I had been born in the Depression. I'm not that old, but it feels like it. But some people want to live a bigger lifestyle, maybe have more luxury, more experiences. The experiences a lot of times cost a lot of money, but if you don't have it, you can't spend it. And other people have a tendency maybe to be a little too weary to spend what they need for comfort or their lifestyle, and they have it as we did, but just didn't want to go that extra.
There has to be a little balance.
Yeah.
Number 6 consideration is probably one of the most important parts of this whole video, and that's physical ability. Can you climb upstairs?
Can you remember when we started out? We started out with bigger suitcases until we got on the first train in Spain, and we were trying to put the bags overhead because there was no room at the beginning of the compartment. And it was ridiculous. We couldn't do it. It would hurt.
So you need to, and can you stand a long flight?
Long flights, the transportation you have to look at. Heat.
Heat.
A lot of people can't do heat or cold or different things like that. You have a lot of irregular routines. So if you're used to working out every morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, this lifestyle might interrupt that in between transfers and where are you going to work out and what are you going to do?
Also, dietary restrictions can enter into the picture.
We've been to some very meat-centric countries.
So that can be a problem.
Vegetarian,
especially if you're a vegan.
Peanut allergies, whatever allergies you have. We have a friend that she's allergic to pepper. It actually, and that's a pretty common ingredient. So you have to be able to go to a restaurant that can accommodate those things. And are you willing to look for that?
Prescription medications.
Where can you get them from?
And in a lot of cases, the prescription medications here are a lot cheaper than our home country, which is the United States.
Yes.
We found that. But you still need to get a prescription, so you'll have to find doctors.
One of the prescription medications, the only one that I take, is levothyroxine. And I can usually just show them a picture of the box over the counter, but in Spain, one pharmacy wanted me to transfer those prescription to them. So, doctors, do you need regular doctor appointments? What do you need? So you really have to look at the physicality of this, because it's not just, we're not huge climbers. We're not doing the Camino to next
No.
week. But I'll tell you what, because we don't have a car, there is a lot of walking involved in this. I had to get a new hip because we wouldn't have been able to continue this lifestyle
Without it.
without it.
And something else to consider, and I'm going to say this is the most controversial subject we can hit on travel, but decide whether you want or need travel insurance or health insurance. We don't use health insurance. We found that the prices overseas are very, very good.
And we're fortunate. We have a couple of shekels in the bank, so therefore we can self-insure and we feel comfortable with that. Whether that's going to work out or not, we don't know, but so far so good. But Jimmy's 70, I'm 66, and now it's becoming even more difficult. Jimmy really can't find inexpensive insurance anywhere that wants to cover him. And there's different kinds of insurance. There's traveler's insurance, trip interruption, different things like that. And then there's medical insurance.
And the health insurance can be very expensive. I'll give you an example. Karen's hip replacement, which we did a video on,
Yes.
was $14,000 all in.
Yeah.
That's incredibly low price considering it included 3 days in the hospital.
And it was done in a back alley in no.
But in any case, health insurance is a consideration you have to make, but don't be surprised if the prices are kind of healthy.
Yeah. So you want to know. And plus, if you are, it's also finding people that speak your language, whatever your native tongue is. Duolingo did not prepare me for any kind of hip replacement speak. Though I can tell you an owl plays the piano.
Yes. I'm going to just say this so you know. We're not saying not to get it, and we're not saying to get it. That's your choice.
And your budget.
And your budget.
And your comfort level.
But don't think you're going to shop around and get it for $1.95.
So but this is one of those key things that it's big consideration if you're deciding to go nomadic, because you don't have that homestead to go home to. You don't have a regular physician. So you have to kind of feel comfortable with handling medical situations, which we've had a couple of them come up, outside your language, country, different things like that.
And then before you get started, there are considerations also that you have to make that are very important. And that is, do I need an international SIM card?
The seventh key to this series is going to be logistics. SIM cards, carriers. What are you doing for data? What are you doing for phone calls? Mail, forwarding, digital box.
Yeah.
Friend, family, someone collecting your mail for
somebody
you.
doing something.
Someone you trust to open up your credit cards.
Your credit cards, are they travel friendly? Are they easy to work? What happens in the case of a fraud with your credit card, which we had happen
just recently?
We needed new cards sent to us in, was it Bulgaria? No.
No. We had it done in Germany.
It was in Germany.
Thank God.
But we needed the card sent to us, and we had to cancel our card. So you should have backup cards.
Yeah.
Just in case.
But that's something that you're looking at is, who's handling that? Banking, online banking. Do you have the kind of investments that are going to allow you to have a digital mailbox? We have heard a lot about Charles Schwab. We have JP Morgan. They want a physical address. They want it to be a home. I know JP Morgan is not accepting a digital mailbox. So with certain investments, we would lose some of our accounts or have to cash them out, which we don't want to do.
And your banking also a lot of times wants to send you an SMS.
Yeah.
And if your phone is a internet phone, you can't get the SMS.
Well,
That can be a problem also.
it can be that you need a certain carrier that can handle it.
Yeah, this is some things that you have to consider before you decide to become a nomad. And do you want to get involved with that kind of stuff?
Exactly.
Okay, all in all, I will tell you, as far as we're concerned, nomadic lifestyle is absolutely incredible.
It's been worth,
The animation.
yes, it's been worth any trials and tribulations, but that's for us. And we have a lot of reasons for that. So we encourage you to really,
Think
if it's
over.
something that you're looking at, please just think of it. These are some of those things that we really found were hurdles and we had to answer before we were willing to take this journey.
Think carefully before you jump into something. We're not going to tell you sell your house right away. We're not going to tell you rent a place. We're just going to tell you be aware that there are obstacles
Yes.
that you have to overcome.
We're going to elaborate on several of the 7 keys in future videos. They're not going to be in chronological necessarily order. But if you have questions about anything that we brought up or even things that we haven't thought about,
Leave them in the comments.
please leave them. We'll answer them. Of course, Jimmy's always good about answering things right away, but we'll try to answer certain things in our future videos and still do travel videos. That's because those are for us when we get old and can't remember where we've been.
That's right.
It's very important to me.
I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning, so it's important.
You should have seen it. Oh.
Yeah. But one other point, in addition to this YouTube channel, we have a Facebook group. And that group is called Slow Travel Across the Globe. I answer everybody who posts a question on there.
Yeah.
I encourage you to post your own travel pictures.
Or any ideas that you have. Like I said, I'm sure this isn't everything. I'm sure we've missed certain things in that, but please go on the Facebook group and that. We're trying to make it as active as possible for people to go and use it as a resource as well as entertainment.
And I have a group that is in there that already started to answer questions. So I really think that would be a good idea also.
Yes.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Say goodnight, Jimmy.
Good night, Jimmy.